The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Yo, this your boy Troy Hollywood, and you listen to One Nation Radio on Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio, you better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
One time for all the real ones. What's going on, everybody? This is your host of One Nation Radio, Rich, and I am joined today by a special guest, the heavyweight champion of Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling, Mr. Troy Hollywood. Troy, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. So getting you on the show, this is a huge get for me, everybody. This guy is one of the best wrestlers in Florida right now on the indie scene. If you guys have not heard about him, I just wanted to talk to him and give him a chance to tell his story on the air here on One Nation Radio. So Troy, man, how did you get into professional wrestling?
Growing up, it's the only thing that I used to watch as a kid. I mean, of course I watch, football and basketball, but I didn't watch them like religiously like I watched wrestling. So, as a kid, I started watching it, fell in love with it, never stopped watching it. Then, I'm just making a long story short, of course, but, a lot of years later, I found a chance to train with Jay Lethal, and now, I'm wrestling.
That's what's up, man. Like, what were you watching, as a kid? Like what time period?
I grew up in the Attitude Era.
Same here.
Yeah. I grew up. And I didn't. My dad used to watch WCW because he's an old school wrestling fan, and you know how WCW was. They had like all the old school people there. So he would always, when Raw was on or Monday nights, he would always switch back and forth. And I used to hate it when he switched to WCW. I would just get up and walk out of the room. And I'm like, nobody wants to watch this, bro. You know what I'm saying? I always hated WCW, bro.
Well, that'll make one of my rapid fire questions later easier.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, man. If I got my research right on you, I know that you played basketball. I think we're from the same area. We have a lot of mutual friends. I was looking at our mutual friends and all that through folks we know in wrestling, folks we know that do music, and I do music and all that. But you played basketball and you went to Countryside, was it?
Yeah, I went to Countryside, played basketball at Countryside.
What class were you in?
Class of 11.
Oh, okay. What position did you play?
Well, see, in high school, especially down here, this is not a super huge area for basketball. This is more of a football area.
Right.
But I mean, basketball still gets a lot of recognition from it. But since I was kind of a tall guy, I actually played power forward and center-ish type because I was tall, lanky, I could jump. I'm black, I'm athletic. So
we're gonna get to that in a minute.
They're gonna put me on. They're gonna put me on. I was 6. I think I was 6 foot at the time playing center in high school.
Yeah. So
crazy story is I had to play these fools. So my first game I was on JV first for 4 games. Mm-hmm. And after 4 games, they moved me to varsity because I had the juice, clearly.
Yep.
So, but I didn't want to play on varsity because I done started this thing on JV. We already undefeated. I don't want to go to your varsity team because they're like 0-4 already. They've been getting spanked.
Yes.
So this is like going to the Browns, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like the Charlotte Bobcats. I'm pretty mad right now.
Right.
So I get up there. The first game I'm in that year is against this school. Their name was Sickles.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah. They had this guy's in the NBA right now. He actually in the playoffs. His name is John Henson.
Oh, okay.
This
yeah.
man is 6'10". I've never in my life seen Shaq up close and personal. But this was playing against Shaq. There's nothing. When I tell you, I was considered a tall guy on my team, bro. So there's literally nothing we can do against this guy. We just foul him, he'll dunk the ball. Foul him, he'll dunk him. And I was just like, this is cheating.
Yes.
So yeah, it was basically cheating. So eventually I got hurt, and that kind of stopped the basketball deal because I didn't want to hurt myself no more. You know?
Yeah, I feel you,
I
man.
was like, I'm not gonna, because it was a scary injury, so I didn't want to take any chances on it.
I
Stupid
feel
enough,
you.
I'm in wrestling.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that too. I had my own John Henson story. Like I remember, like I can speak to exactly how tall he is. One time I was at the Beast Athletic Shootout, and there was a dunk contest going on with a bunch of guys, and he was one of the judges. I stood next to him. I'm like, you just stand next to this dude, and it's like he just keeps going upward. Like,
dude, yes, it was. I'm never intimidated. Like if I gotta play against you, competition competitively, I will never be intimidated by nobody else.
Right.
But you'll never look Godzilla in his eyes and not be afraid a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, bro.
Like,
I feel you.
It doesn't happen. Sometimes people's presence is just too much. And you're like, oh man. So it made me take a step back for a second. But I still had like 13 points in a loss. It don't matter.
You got yours, man.
Yeah, you got mine.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's all about in high school, getting yours.
Do you think playing basketball for most of your like high school career, do you think that helped your wrestling in any way?
Oh yeah, bro, it definitely does. The up and down pace when you're in playing high school basketball, it's a fast pace because both teams are kind of the same. No one's really that better. Unless you like a superstar, unless you're on a superstar team.
Right.
But at least for now, that's how. Now I can tell now it's totally different because the way the game is played now is totally different from when I played, and that was only a couple of years ago.
Right. It's
but,
a lot of
it's
systems.
It's stupid now. Nobody plays defense anymore. It's crazy. But it's an up and down pace, and you do that for literally like 15 minutes, something like that. Like nonstop, you only get a couple breaks, timeouts there, so it kind of helps you with the stamina that you need in the ring.
Yeah,
that
man.
Energy, that burst.
So, like, you said you train with Jay Lethal. Obviously, you're you're the heavyweight champion of Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling. How was training with Jay Lethal, and like have you wrestled him yet on a show?
Training with Jay, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, because if I that dude is so good at everything, and it's crazy, and you just want to be like, he inspires you to want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like everybody he trains, especially me and my class, I think all of us took a piece from him, and like it's incorporated in us, because you can't help but to. That's almost like, how you like say you in a studio with Diddy, or something like that.
Right.
And you just learning from him. You're gonna eventually you're gonna have his mannerisms and act like him when it comes to certain things. You know what I'm saying? And I think all of us have like taken stuff from him. This dude is incredible, especially to train with him. And he's not one of those trainers where he's do it again, you suck. Do it again, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll be hard on you, but you don't feel like he's being like just a complete a-hole about it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's actually trying to help. And then if he sees you can't help it, oh well. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna kill
man.
themselves.
All my experiences, and I pretty much just had like one with Jay Lethal. I was working kind of like a show hand for Florida Underground Wrestling a couple years ago, and I was like doing backstage work and all that. And he was a cool guy to me. Like I wasn't like pretty much anyone. I was pretty much walking around in shirt and ties, just helping out. What's my man's name? Dante Brown, who was running the show.
Oh yeah,
shout out to him. And you know, he was super cool with me, and everything like that. And we were just talking like two dudes, like, so shout out to Jay Lethal. But yeah, man, like, so Troy Hollywood is the name. How did you start calling yourself that? Like, what's it inspired by, or, you know, does it just sound good?
Well, so of course I played the video games, the wrestling video games all my life.
Yep.
And everybody creates a person, you know what I'm saying? Everybody creates a person, and normally my name, it doesn't come up in video games. My last name is not very common, and my first name, for some reason, is never on the video game.
Right.
I never understood that. Like, come on, there was a Tori Wilson before. I'll take the double R-I spelling, or however you spell it, just as long as you say it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just wanted to hear Lillian Garcia say the name. Well, it never happened, so eventually you have to use your brain to come up with a whole new name. And I took my first name, twisted the letters around the O and R, and that's how you get Troy. Hollywood kind of came from just this attitude I always had. This some people call it ego, I call it confidence, but it's just, some people, like in high school, you know how you just, you know, walking around, and you may not say nothing to nobody, and they be like, why you acting all Hollywood and stuff today?
Yep.
You know, what are you being like that? I'm like, I'm 6 in the morning, I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But people, that's how people act, you know, they call you. So eventually I just took the name. I was like, oh, Hollywood, that sounds good. And then I put it on a piece of paper. It looked good, and now, you know, everybody calls me Troy Hollywood. So I say it worked out in the end.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like that's a joke, like among like some of my friends as well. It's like, oh, you acting Hollywood now. You can't talk to nobody or something like that. So I feel you. Yeah, man. So like we gonna get to it now. So like, what is it like? You know, because I was at one of your shows, I want to say back in February. What's it like being like a black wrestler going into some of these areas where it seems like, you know, brothers ain't exactly welcome out there? You know, I was just I was at this event one time. I'm not gonna say where it is, but I saw the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. I saw the Confederate flags, and it's like you have to go be a babyface in there sometimes. Like, how do you feel that like kind of affects you?
Well, I have a secret, and a lot of black wrestlers know this secret. And I don't think a lot of people know this secret. So, actually, you know what? I don't think I can give this secret away.
Don't do it.
I don't think I can.
Give us as much as you can without just revealing it.
Just know that, okay, so going into areas, like I went into a place when I literally just started wrestling. This was maybe my 5th match, 6th, somewhere around there. I went to this place in Georgia. Literally, the place was called Whiteville, Georgia. I am not making this shit up. It was called Whiteville. So immediately, and I'm in the car with 3 white dudes. Trust me, I'm not, that racism crap, it doesn't scare me. I'm not scared of any type of confrontation of anything like that.
Right.
But it's just, you gotta know, and you say, as you know, as a black man, you gotta know your areas, and you gotta know
where you at.
And you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta know where you're surrounded at all times. So, okay, I'm in the car with 3 white dudes. We in Whiteville, Georgia. I'm not too, you know, I'm not worried, but I am cautious.
Right.
Because you never know what can happen. But you'll be actually surprised that some places like that receive they actually like you as a baby face.
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because you're like, oh shit, they was actually feeling me. You know what I'm saying? They was actually vibing with me and grooving with the wave. So sometimes it's kind of crazy to even when you do it, you're just like, oh, okay, I got him. But then at the end of the show, you're like, let me go ahead and get home. I'm not trying to end up on nobody's newspaper today.
Yes. I feel you, man, because I was at one match, and I think my boy Josh was at a different one where I wasn't there. He was like, yeah, man, it was crazy. Like this, like Troy Hollywood normally like owns the crowd, but like they put him up against like one of their guys or whatever, and then they just started like they turned on him, and it was crazy. So I was like, I gotta ask him about this, like, you know. But
wrestling is crazy sometimes, man. Wrestling is definitely crazy. Wrestling fans are crazy than what wrestlers are, definitely.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't know if you heard One Nation Radio before, but like, I like to call this like the Blackest Wrestling Podcast, like going today, because we pretty much like get into it like all the time. And I don't know. You see my timeline, so like,
yeah, you wild, bro.
Yeah,
but that's
man.
what I like, because at a certain point in wrestler's career, we can't say what we want to say anymore.
Right.
Because we're filtered. And there's nothing wrong with being filtered, because some people just need to be filtered. But, yeah, some things we can't say, some things, you just try to stay away from anything outrageous.
Right.
So it doesn't come back to haunt you, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to delete my Twitter.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, at some point, and make a new one, because I used to say some really crazy stuff. And this one I was working at Walmart, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So me just tweeting to my friends and me tweeting how I feel, I'm pretty sure some people would not like that.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend scrubbing at some point, like especially like depending on like what your goals are, and I'm gonna ask you about those in a minute.
Yeah.
Like you know the game. Yeah, man. So like your wrestling style, like I'll say this, like whenever, like when I go to like the Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling shows, like you see kind of all like experience levels. I feel like when I watch you, you're one of the more experienced guys, and your style is like really fast paced and athletic, and that's right up my alley. Who are you like watching to kind of gain those influences, and how tough is that on your body?
Well, I'm only been wrestling for 3 years, so. Wow. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, when you learn from Jay, especially the way he taught us, like, I felt like he understood my class was gonna get it quick, and he had to give us, because we wanted knowledge, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to learn how to do it. All of us that was in our class, me, Hunter, Frick, Snoop, Danny Vincent, Eric, we all wanted it. Like, we all had the same vision. So he kind of gave us his blueprint on how to do it and how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he definitely influenced me a lot. The way he, but not his moves per se. The way his charisma, almost the way he yells things after a move, or the way he looks at the ref, or the way he looks when somebody kicks out of his finish. That type of stuff you got to look at now as a wrestler, and you got to kind of take from people. Mm-hmm. But like influence wise, I try to take a piece of everything from everybody, because I feel like this is like a time in wrestling where everybody's kind of doing whatever they want, and nobody's really saying you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, there was I wasn't in wrestling at this time, but I feel like there was a time in wrestling where you weren't allowed to do this move because that person was doing that move. So if you're doing that move, there's a problem. And I feel like now that is just totally out of there, because everybody does a goddamn cutter now, bro. So it's like everyone can do an RKO now. Nobody really cares anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I kind of try to take, different stuff from Jay and all these guys from New Japan and all these guys from ROH and WWE and anything. I even watch shitty wrestling on YouTube, bro. And this is the thing I tell everybody they should be doing, because shitty wrestling, like, it's just you see two backyarders, they don't even know what they're doing, and they're just doing moves. But you could literally go, oh shit, that's a cool move, and I'm pretty sure he's not wrestling anywhere, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. And then what do you know? You have a new finisher. Nobody's doing it. Everybody thinks your move is cool when you just stole it from a backyarder. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta take.
You gotta take the influence from where you can get it.
Yeah, bro. You gotta take it from where you, because everybody, you have to be different. You have to be, man. That's why I feel like if you're different, not a lot of people are gonna understand you, but people are gonna pick up on you, because I think in wrestling, when somebody leaves, people try to fill that void of the person that left. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to like kind of step into like someone's shoes, like, and you know, like now you're like a guy, you're like one of the dudes, like you're on top now. Like who was on top before that you had to kind of like replace?
Say that again. I didn't hear.
Like now you're like a main event guy in your promotion, and you know, I would assume that you just didn't come in on top and like, yeah, I'm the man. Like you had to kind of.
No, see, that's where that hard work comes from, because you gotta want it, bro. Like you start literally at the bottom, like literally, like, and I'm not gonna say his name, but this one kid, he just started, and he was mad because he didn't get to do a lot of the match. And I was like, bro, this is like your fourth, fifth match. Calm down. You only getting this right here. This is your year. This is your first year. You're supposed to gain all your knowledge right now. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to get everything you can and try to gain that knowledge. That way, your second year, you have an idea, you have knowledge, and now you can focus on your move sets and who you want to be and all this other stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like I was trying to tell him, you gotta chill out, because he was upset, and he was, oh, I didn't get to do this and I didn't do that, and I'm been working hard and all. I'm like, bro, it's not gonna come that fast. Trust me, because you're gonna eat shit for a long time, And if you don't demand it, like, they know you're not gonna get it. You can't just sit there and go, okay, I'll wait. I'll pay my dues and I'll wait for my chance. Yeah, that works sometimes, but I feel like, especially for a dude like me, I'm gonna tell you how good I am, and then I'm gonna prove to you how good I am. So that way you have nothing to say but, oh, this guy's good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. You definitely have to say it, and you gotta mean it, and you gotta prove it, or else you just look stupid.
Yeah, man, I can attest, like, to seeing you come out. Like, I felt like you know who you are. Like, you know, like, when you come through and like your entrance, like, you know what you're going in there to do. Like, from the music to the walk to how you just like engage with the crowd. It's definitely like you're wise beyond your years, and I can honestly tell you that. Yeah, man. Because I watch a ton of wrestling, man. You mentioned Hunter Law, and shouts out to Hunter Law. And that was a guy you trained with. I didn't know that. Like, I saw a match that you guys had at the anniversary show at the Big Top. It was.
Oh my god.
Yep. It wasn't the first match that I ever saw of yours, but I definitely think it was like one of the best matches that I saw this year. And I went to like WrestleMania weekend, and you know, I saw you out there actually. And
yeah, we were out there. Yeah.
Yep. And I watched a ton of matches. I went to like 7 or 8 shows, and you know, that match still stands out as one of the best matches I've seen live this year.
Thanks, bro. That means a lot. I can't say enough about that guy, bro. He's so good. Like, literally, Hunter is gonna be definitely somebody, bro. If he stays healthy, like I know he definitely is now, he's gonna be somebody, because he gets it. He understands the way it works. He understands the business aspect of it. I mean, you always got room for growth, but he definitely gets it. And he wants it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That match was hell, though. My gosh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell me about that match. Like what was your mindset going into that? Because you were losing the belt that night.
Oh man, so my mindset was all good. You know, I'm not one of those guys where I was gonna say, oh no, I don't want to lose him.
Right.
No, if I know I gotta go out here, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do to make, you know, this match great. This is what I, you know. So going into it, I was already thinking, all right, well, this is how it's gonna happen. Da, 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 you know what I'm saying? I get to the show. We start. My mindset was still kind of. It was kind of iffy, because I guess you got iffy because this building that we were in was very, very hot.
Yes.
Like literally.
No air
hot.
conditioning.
No air conditioning at all. So, fast forward to the match. I get in there and I can already he's doing the ring introductions, and I'm hot, bro. Like, this is not like that heat when you're at the beach and you're like, oh, bro, it's hot out here. This is like that heat when you got on 3 shirts on the bus ride home and the air conditioning broke, and you're like, why did I wear 3 shirts today to school, bro? Like, this is heavy. This is like heat when like a big person is like laying on y'all fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is heavy heat. So at a point in this match, he has me in the crossface, and I stopped yelling for a second and just like, oh yeah, because I was like, because the next move I had to get up and give him a move after that, and I was like, bro, it's so hot, and he whispers in my ear, and he's like, I know, bro, I know. And we kept going on. Me and Hunter push each other, bro. We're stupid when it comes to the ring. We want to push each other until we kill one another. We get those raw emotions from each other. You know what I'm saying? That chemistry that is just crazy.
Yeah, man. Like, I remember that match. It was like, I wanted to say you were going for like a tope, or I don't know if your foot got stuck. It was like you were doing
Oh, bro, yeah, that thing. So so they brought in these new lights, like where hard cam is, and hard cam is the camera where we kind of do everything too, like all the poses and big moves and crap like that.
Right.
So
y'all hear that, everybody? He already knows how to work. He already knows how to work towards a hard camera. So we've already got that out the way.
That is out of the way. So I'm going for the move. I literally, so let me rethink of what happened. Okay, so he was coming out and I ran back in, and then I gave him a suicide dive and got back up. And I was supposed to do a dive where I put my foot on I've seen ACH do it. He puts his foot on the rope and does this flip.
Yep.
Well, I wear contacts, and these contacts, sometimes anything can happen, and these contacts can mess up instantly. This was like, it's crazy, bro. I have no idea how this happens. So I'm running towards the rope, and as soon as I'm running and my contact gets a little blurry, I close my left eye, and as soon as I close my left eye to go, the lights from the ropes literally made the ropes disappear. Like, the way the lights reflected off the ropes made it disappear. So when I jumped up, my toe hit the edge of it where the inside of the ring is, and not the middle where it needed to be. So when I lifted off, literally it was no lift, but thank God I wanted to live that day, and I found some way to get over.
Yeah, man.
And then I still,
bro, it looked like you almost died. Like,
no, bro, that's why I got up fast. I was like, I meant to do that. Shit happened.
Yep, it's like in football when you get hit real hard.
Yeah, you just get back up.
You just get back up.
Like it never happened. Because if I would have showed you, something bad happened, then you would have known something didn't happen.
Right.
I would have kept it, let the illusion be an illusion, and go, oh, did he mean to do that?
Right.
Or if not, you know what I'm saying?
I think it added to the match.
Let it do that.
Like,
I'll just let it. And my elbow was. You do remember how Cena elbow was? Like, it was fat and puffy at that one point.
Yeah, you had like the baseball in the elbow.
Yeah, that's exactly what my elbow looked like after that, bro, and it was crazy.
Man,
it's like. Crazy match though. Shout out to Hunter Love.
Yes, if you guys haven't seen it, is there anywhere like that match is available for people to watch, like stream online? Maybe.
I think it's on YouTube.
Okay.
We actually have our own YouTube channel. If you look up Snoop Strikes,
shout out to Snoop.
My other guy. That's my guy. Yeah, it has Snoop Strikes TV, and you can look that up on YouTube. And literally, we put all our matches on that channel. So. If we ever, I think we uploaded it, I don't know. But yeah, we put all our matches on that channel, so you can go check out me and Hunter, me and Snoop. We got a triple threat on there. Snoop got matches against people. I got matches against people. Hunter's got matches. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. So like moving from the matches towards like the other side of wrestling, like the promos. Like, do you have a specific mindset that you take into like communicating with the audience? Like, and where would you rate your promo ability? Do you think that's like one of your strengths, or is that something that you?
I think I'm a good talker, because I watched a lot of stand up comedy stuff growing up. So, and I feel like that was one of my loves as well as a kid growing up. I always loved stand up. So I feel like promos, it's not so hard for me because I'm so used to, standing up and just going like off the top of the head. Like, you know how you and your homeboys in a roasting session and you gotta go because you don't want to stop, or else you're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Or else you lose, like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just keep going. So in a promo, I kind of take that promo, like that mindset with me. Like, I just gotta out-talk this person, and I gotta make everything make sense. But just have fun and don't worry about it as much. Because I see some people sometimes go, "Oh, I got a promo tonight. Oh man, what am I gonna say?" Oh, and then I see them practicing lines. And I'm like, nobody gave you lines. This is an indie show. You don't get lines. What are you doing? Like, it's just a promo. Like, some people literally attack themselves over it. And like, I don't know how to give advice yet on doing a good promo, because I don't think my promo is, rock. Mm-hmm. But, it's like, you just got to be a talker for like a promo, bro. You can't be a person that fumbles over your words. You just got to learn how to just go. And if it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Just make sure you end it when it doesn't. It makes sense. But some people just don't make sense, and then end it, and then nothing makes sense. And we're like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, and you're just like, what? Yes, it's wrestling is crazy, bro. It's a whole.
I imagine.
It's a whole world.
I can imagine. Like, there's so much like stuff like that. The average like fan doesn't know, or even like someone like myself, because I'm strictly a fan. Like, I love the business. I've always wanted to contribute to it somehow, and this was like kind of like the best thing I kind of figured out to do, where I didn't have to take the bumps or wear the grease, as they say. So yeah. But Troy, I wanted to ask you, who's like that veteran who's kind of like done it all, like has been in wrestling for 20-30 years, like that that you happen to like wrestle, or that you really learn something from?
A wrestler that's been in a bit that I learned stuff from. I kind of, when I get a chance to wrestle a guy, a vet that's experienced and still going, and that's really good, I try to take a lot from him. Recently, though, it's been Aaron Epic. He's been I had a feud with him for like what felt like a whole 3 years. Mm-hmm. We literally was like wrestling every Wednesday night at ACW. It was crazy, but I really took some stuff from him, because it's crazy the amount of things you can learn inside a ring, and you don't even realize you learn it until your next match, and you go, "Oh, I took that from him." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I give him credit. I gotta give Jake credit, of course, because at training, me and him go at it. So he definitely teaching me a lot from, definitely training aspect, and when we just rolling around doing moves and stuff like that, he definitely teaches me a lot. It's a lot of guys. I just don't want to miss anybody, and then they get mad at me.
I feel you.
And I have to hit somebody.
Yeah, man. So I was on your Twitter just like looking at stuff or whatever, like in prep to ask you this stuff. So
I gotta delete it.
Yeah, man. So what are your feelings on like athletes and like smoking weed? Like, we had a bunch of stuff like pop up recently with like obviously 420 just passed. That was yesterday. Yes. And we saw some stuff with like some former NBA players saying it helps athletes deal with pain and all that. And I know like you and Rhett Giddens are kind of passionate about the subject. Just wondering your thoughts on that.
Well, Rhett is definitely my guy, and bro, I don't want to sound like I don't want to be that guy. He's a stoner, he's a pothead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing like that. But I feel like I feel like marijuana helps so much, and we don't even realize it because we wanna. Oh, he's smoking it for recreational use. He just want to get high and eat up all his food. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like it's some people don't use it to do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people do. Some people just smoke to smoke.
Yep.
You got potheads that just smoke to smoke because they want to smoke. And then some people like use it for pain. Like I feel like old people, they could, smoke it and that pain could go away. That pain in their leg could go away. They athletes, we literally are working hard, bro. Like,
yeah.
If you never played, trust me. Think about, and this is what dang, I can't even think of this guy's name no more. But he played basketball in the NBA. He was at a camp one time. He said, think about the guy that you played one-on-one in basketball, and think about how bad he beat you. He said the NBA is 10 times better than that person that beat you, bro. I was like, that
Damn.
opened my eyes. So yeah, bro, because it's literally, there's athletes are working hard every day, especially wrestling. Something like wrestlers are wrestling. We're literally falling
out on the ground for a living.
Falling on the ground for a living. You don't think and it already study shows that, marijuana helps pain, ease the mind, relaxes, do everything for anxiety. It already showed there's stats for that stuff. I don't know why it's such a big issue still.
I got a few reasons.
You can't have purple weed.
I have a few reasons. But I could probably tell you about that off air, but
yeah, I don't understand it. Like, I'm not saying it's cool to do drugs, children. I never said that.
Right.
That's not me. Troy Hollywood says no to drugs. But Troy Hollywood also says to athletes and people that are old enough to make adult decisions that if you feel pain, do you.
For sure, man.
Do you? That's all I can say.
For sure. Yeah, man. So you said you've been wrestling for 3 years now. So in that time, yeah. I imagine that you've you've tried a bunch of things. Like you've grown from what you were previously, and you're still learning in lots of areas. Probably. Has there been something that someone has asked you to do, whether like it was a spot in the ring or something character-wise, where you were like, hell no. Right now. Or you were like, hell no, like, there's no way I'm doing this.
So this is the thing about wrestling, especially when you first come in, you're gonna say yes to everything. Literally, you're going to say yes because it's wrestling and you're like, I gotta do it because I know I can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's wrestling. This is all you ever wanted to do. So you're gonna say yes to a lot of stupid stuff. So there hasn't been a time I've never said like hell no. There's been a time where I said no, I don't think that that works here, but we can do it like later on in the match and then like that. But I've never actually said no to nothing crazy. But there's this one time I said yes to something and I shouldn't have said yes to it because I didn't. It was just it was me and Hunter. This is actually the Georgia show in Whitesville that we were doing. This is kind of crazy. So me and Hunter, we were wrestling the Dirty Blondes. That's Michael Patrick and Brian Brock. That's his. There you go. So we were wrestling. And we were doing a spot where he was gonna pick me up for a back suplex, and I was gonna backflip out of it, and Hunter was gonna backflip out of it as well, and then we were gonna super kick him, and they were both gonna go down, and that was our babyface fire. We get the crowd riled up.
Right.
It was a tag match. So we're late to the show, and we're talking about the match in the car because we all rode together. So we're talking about the match. They go, Tori, can you do a backflip? And I'm like, hell, what? Can I do it? Yes, I can do a backflip. What are you talking about? Can I do a backflip? I was like, and I love doing this to my friends because they always pop when I say it. But I go, oh, of course, because I'm black.
Oh, man.
And they're like, oh, I love doing it. Because they're like, of course, he's black. And I'm like, oh, you're a racist.
That's funny.
But, yeah, so, of course, I'm talking junk in the car, putting on my stuff. And in my head, I'm like, oh, shit, Troy, you can't do no damn backflip, Troy, you cannot do a backflip, bro. You know you can't do one. Now you said yes to a backflip. You got to do this backflip. So, whatever. I'm laughing it off. Whatever. We get in the ring. Here comes the spot. I can't tell you how scared I was to do this backflip. That when he went to pick me up, I literally rolled to the right out of, like, I didn't even do a backflip. I literally just rolled out of his hand. I can't explain it, bro. Like, there was no backflip motion at all. I just literally rolled out of his hand and gave that guy the freaking loudest super kick ever. And that's we still joke about that one to this day because that was hilarious.
And like,
yeah, so
like backflips from the top
Superman.
rope. Like, I remember always hearing this story about Chris Jericho when he first got into wrestling, and he happened to run into Shawn Michaels like at a bar or whatever, and he was like, he asked Shawn like any advice on doing a moonsault like on the top rope or whatever, and then Shawn looked at him and was like, you just gotta go up there and do it, brother. Like,
yeah, like, man, that's what was it, last Sunday when I ran up the ropes and hit that cutter on Eddie.
Yep.
That was my first time. My second time doing that. I literally just did it the night before and was like, I think I can do that again. But the night before was my first time ever trying that, bro. Like, I was just like, I got to do something new tonight.
Is that the one that's embedded on your Twitter page? Can everybody see this move?
Yes, that is the one on my Twitter and my IG page. I don't think I put it on Facebook, but I think I will.
Yep, we'll definitely have to pop that in the Wrestling Square Circle. It's like, if you like the RKO, right, and you like the Oz Cutter, this is definitely like off that tree, but unique in itself that I don't think I've seen anyone do it to this extent.
Yeah, bro, it hurts. It hurts a lot, trust me.
Yeah, man.
It hurts a lot. And that's why I love, like, that's what I'm saying, like, everybody has a version of an RKO, and nobody says, oh, why are you doing that? Everybody just lets you do it. I think wrestling is becoming it's becoming fun again. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming cool again, almost mainstream, because I feel like a lot of people are looking at wrestling, and a lot of wrestlers are giving themselves to like the mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're putting themselves out there and trying to make wrestling be known again, like it was when we grew up. Like,
right,
wrestling was the shit in the the 90s. It was, everybody knew what it was. Like, even your grandmas, turn off that wrestling. Everybody knew what wrestling was in the 90s. I feel like it took a decline because you got people that just kind of fell out of love of it.
Right.
Oh, their favorite wrestler retired, or they don't like the way this. I literally have, like, I know people that stopped watching wrestling for a period of time just because some guy was champion. I was like, what? What do you mean? What? How could you? Like, that is insane to me. Like, I could never stop watching wrestling. I always wanted to watch wrestling. Like, I didn't care. And there were some bad times. But I still turn it on every Monday night.
Yeah, man. So what's your training regimen like from like the food like to the workouts? Like do you specifically kind of place a premium on the nutrition? Do you work out a certain way for wrestling and your optimum performance, or you just kind of run it?
It's kind of, I do a lot of running. Also, I use a lot of boxing. I incorporate a lot of boxing workouts because that definitely helps your ring stamina. Because running on it, I'll tell you, like Jay told us, and you don't find this out until you're a wrestler. Running on the treadmill is not gonna do it. You can sweat and you can get tired, but running on a treadmill is nothing like being in the ring. So, like, to get the best workout, you actually have to go running on the street. because you can actually, go. And you're not just setting one pace for yourself on a treadmill running nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, treadmill. It's also different on your joints too, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's not good. So definitely running and a lot of boxing workout, a lot of pad working, a lot of hitting the bag, heavy, stuff like that. Like it's a nice workout.
Yeah,
there's nothing over killing. Like I'm not a huge guy, but I'm pretty strong. Like you see me and it'll be a different story if I hit you for real.
For sure, man. So I actually had this question from Jeremy of Keeping It Strong Style. He was at the show with us on Sunday. He wanted me to ask you, he was like, a lot of people don't go to WWE anymore when they reach a certain level. And, they see the success that guys are, like the Young Bucks are having outside of WWE. Like, given the choice, would you like to just go straight to WWE faster and hop in the developmental system, or, kind of take the outside route and become like a superstar on the outside first?
Well,
like, what are your goals kind of like with wrestling?
I kind of, right now, man, I want to wrestle as much as I can, wrestle as much guys as I can, wrestle everywhere, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get as much experience as I can. Therefore, if I ever get that phone call to go somewhere, I'll know I'll be ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just... Well, and I'm not saying if they call me tomorrow, I wouldn't sign that paper. That money.
That yen.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's like right now, I want to wrestle as many people I can while I can on the indies to experience different styles, different type of matchups, different crowds. That way, if I ever get big time, I know how to. Oh, I've been here before. Right. This scenario happened. I've been here before, so I know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? I know how to work my way around this stuff.
Yeah, man. Who's your all-time dream match? Like, and then also your current dream match.
Okay, so all-time dream match.
Main event of WrestleMania: Troy Hollywood versus.
Woo! My favorite wrestler of all time. Triple H.
Triple H.
It would have to be us. And people look at me crazy when I say Triple H.
Why Triple H?
They go, I'm pretty sure your favorite wrestler is The Rock, ain't you? And I'm like, no, you're being a racist again. No, stop. You're being racist. But Triple H, man, Triple H he was so cool to me. Like, he was this guy one day. The next day he was this guy. It was just so cool. Like, he ran DX. Sean leaves. He's running the whole deal. He leaves DX. Leaves DX. He drugs a girl, marries her.
I can't be co-signing that.
This guy drugged a female, and they're still together.
Yes.
There's video evidence of this man drugging this female he's still with, and they're still together. And come on, you can't hate a guy like that.
That's funny.
I also think he had and people always give me flack for this, but I still feel like he had a better match than him and Taker and Shawn at Mania. I feel like their Mania match at Atlanta. It was amazing. I waited all year for that. I mean, not all year, but when they announced that, like, when Taker was out there, then Triple H music hit, I lost my mind, son. My mind.
We got to have a talk about that, because like that's crazy to me. Like, I mean, I definitely love both the Triple H matches. Like, in my opinion, I think they're like a lot closer than people would be like willing to admit. But I think
bro,
you get
that's all I want to just admit that it's a close. You know what I'm saying? It's a good match. People go, oh, Sean, yeah, it was good, but Triple H, when he's in the ring, the story of the match, I feel like it goes to a different place. Like, did you see that match with him at Mania with him and Steph and Angle?
Yes.
And Ron.
Yes, that's a masterpiece, and Triple H gets to brag about that forever.
That was so good. It hid every weakness that Ronda thought she had. It hid every old bone that Kurt thought he had, and it hit everything that Stephanie, it was a good match.
Yep.
It was so good, and I think we all were like, all right, here we go. Let's shit on this match. And boy, did it deliver.
Yeah.
It delivered. So, I mean, come on.
Troy
he's
Hollywood
the man.
versus Triple
and
H.
he's going to be running the company one day. He's the man, bro. You got to look up to a guy like that. He basically started at the bottom, just like everybody else. He starts at the bottom, leaves WCW, and he works his way up, and now he's basically running the damn thing.
So that'll be like WrestleMania 41, Troy Hollywood versus Triple H.
Oh, but we don't know if we got what WrestleMania is we on? What was that? 30 what?
We just had 34, so like I'll give you
34?
I'll give you like a couple more years.
We can give you 41.
We can like 40 or 41.
40.
40. How about
40.
that? WrestleMania 40, Troy Hollywood versus Triple H.
There it is.
Run it.
Put it on the marquee.
Yeah, man. What's your favorite match that you ever had?
My favorite match I ever had.
All wrestlers have one.
Yeah. I can't really. My favorite match, man, is my next match.
Great answer.
I always try to make my next match my best match. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why a lot of people, think I'm kind of crazy as well, because they go, bro, like you literally go 110 like all the time. Like, and I'm like, yeah, bro, like, that's the only speed I know when I'm in the ring. Like, I'm trying to stand out. I'm trying to be that guy. You gotta go 110. If the crowd don't see you going 110, then they know they not getting the full you, so they might not want to cheer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
a point.
You gotta go every single time, bro. That's what's crazy. Like,
I'll say this: I know when it's time for like Troy Hollywood to come out, like, you're gonna see, like, you give it your all, like you said, and that was the reason we were chanting like "Real World's Champ," after you had won the title last week. But yeah, man, it's time for the rapid fire round. Are you up for the rapid fire round?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to do it.
All right, man. Like quick answers. You can elaborate on it. I'll give you a chance if you want to. If not, just drop the answer. We can move on. So, Sean or Brett?
Sean.
Okada or Omega?
Okada.
WWE or WCW?
WWE. Get that old time Southern stuff out of here.
NWO or The Shield?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with The Shield though, because the NWO had way too many people.
Right.
Way too many.
Big or Pac?
Ooh, Big. He's
all day.
I don't know why that's a discussion. I don't, bro. Sometimes I don't get it. Like, if you listen to the stuff Big put out, this man had what, one album? 2?
Yeah, 2.
Pac had like 17. Like, it's and nothing, and everything Big played from that first, bro. Everything's a hit. Everything is literally a hit on that album, bro. So that's not a discussion for me. I don't care what you say.
So Jay or Nas?
Jay. Nas. I like Nas though. I know a lot of Nas. But Jay is definitely, he's that guy.
Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick. I don't mess with that Canadian rapper. I don't like that guy.
That's funny.
His rap style to me is just. There's literally like hundreds of videos of this man stealing raps and not even giving credit to the person he stole it from. And it's like, you don't do that. I think Drake changed rap for the worse.
Man, but strong takes from Troy Hollywood.
I just feel like I feel like when Drake came in, everybody got soft. Everybody just was like, "Oh, we can sing now." Like, come on, bro.
That's funny.
Like, that ain't cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like Drake. I don't like it.
Austin
I
and
listen to his
Rock.
music though. He makes some hits. I won't lie. But
That he does.
Yeah.
Austin and Rock.
Austin and Rock. I'm taking Rock. I like Rock. I'm not gonna say I'm never really liked Austin, but definitely during that time, I was taking Rock every single time. But he never won, bro.
Bro,
I
they
feel
beat
like The Rock always lost.
Yes, bro. They think about this, and I always like find myself saying this is why people wonder why he came back and ended up winning those couple belts again. If you look at it, they beat this man in his prime in the main event of WrestleMania 3 years in a row in the worst ways possible.
Bro,
1999. They have him go out there and lose to Austin, and while he's with Vince, you have him get screwed out of the belt at WrestleMania 16 in 2000, and then 2001 they just beat the hell out of him, with a chair. It's like, bro, you beat this dude 3 years in a row in the main event and made him look like a bum.
Yeah, man. That's a good theory that you have. I never thought about him coming back just because of that. But yeah, man, people go. They really beat The Rock up, man. They beat him
yes,
up.
Yes,
he
they
literally
did.
Only he got over because of them catchy ass catchphrases.
Yeah, man.
But if it wasn't, I feel like it wasn't for those. He was just a rag doll. They were just beating this man up. Win the title, beat somebody small, and we are just featured to the bigger fish. Like, it's crazy. Crazy.
WrestleMania 10, the ladder match or Bret Hart versus Owen Hart?
Oh, the ladder match, bro. I'm not a big Owen Hart fan. I mean, not Owen Hart, but a Bret Hart fan.
Oh no, that hurt me.
Once again, bro, I never could. There's just sometimes, and I'm speaking from not a wrestler standpoint right now, like, because of course I respect everything Bret Hart, but like,
for sure.
As a kid, for me, I just couldn't. I didn't dig Bret Hart, bro. I just didn't dig him.
Man.
And then you spit in my guy's face. Vince is my, I can't have this. I can't go with you. No.
I know my boy James is gonna laugh at me because I go for Bret and Owen over the ladder match because I feel like it just holds up like right now. Like watching this, like
it does. It's a good match.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Bret Hart, man.
Yeah, man. Favorite Rocky movie?
Favorite Rocky?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a good question as well. Shit. I'm trying to think. It would probably be it was 4 against Drago.
Yeah, the Russian.
Yeah. Only reason is that one though, and because of the montage that he does.
Mm-hmm.
With I love the song behind it. That montage is great. That would make me like that movie 20 because you see the freaking Russian training just. Oh my God! And you're like, Rocky, you're gonna die. You're over here picking up a wagon with some rocks, and this man is getting injected with steroids.
Yes.
His punching power is at 2,000 something. This man is about to kill you. But yeah, and it's crazy because I just saw Rocky. I want to say Rocky 1 the other day.
Uh-huh.
These punches weren't landing for anything. Like I never seen the. Oh my God, bro. Like I was watching it because I love boxing. I wanted to be a boxer, but I took wrestling over boxing. But
right.
I always loved boxing, and I'm just watching it. And I was like, bro, I'd never seen this before. Like literally, the punches weren't even close to the faces at all. It was insane. I was like,
they had a way to shoot those.
Before.
Did you like the Creed movie? Like. I think they took a big step forward with Creed.
I like the Creed. I like the Creed. The second one has to be good though because the first one it's literally the first. I think the second one is gonna either make me like the first one more or just be like, all right, I don't like this series. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The second one has to do it for me, else I'm probably not gonna like it.
For sure.
I was kind of iffy about the first, so but I liked it though. It's kind of weird to say iffy and like it, but I liked it. I'm still a iffy on.
Last question. Best guy you ever wrestled?
Best guy I ever wrestled. And in training, it has to be Jay. That's top notch. Best in the world, bro. You don't get a lot of chances to wrestle one of the best wrestlers in the world. This man was literally TV champ and world heavyweight champ at the same time, and he was at training every day, and you're like, dang, bro. And you're literally learning from the world champ of the, second company in the States, you know what I'm saying? The top, like second company in the States.
Yeah.
Because you normally say WWE, well, I don't even think TNA is their name anymore now. So,
Nope.
Yeah, so they literally fight for that second spot with ROH.
Yeah, man. Oh man, thank you so much, Troy, for coming on the show. Awesome interview. Troy, let the listeners know where they can find your matches, where they can find you on social media for now, before you create that other Twitter that you're gonna create. Where can they find you now?
You can find me on I don't have a page on Facebook yet. I'm gonna get one of those as soon as I feel like making one of those, because that's a lot of work, so I might just make my assistant do it. But anyways, you can find me on Twitter at Mr_T Hollywood. That's Mr_T Hollywood. And you can also find me on Instagram at Ice Cream Perfection_ as well. And that's about it. Oh, you can find those YouTube matches. All you gotta really do is just type in Troy Hollywood versus, and then most of my matches pop up. But you can also find Hunter's matches and Snoop matches on Snoop TV, and you just type that in, and I'm pretty sure all our matches will come up, as well as the channel. So you can just hit subscribe, do all that good stuff.
For sure, man. And everybody, thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of One Nation Radio. Make sure you check out all the other shows on the network. We have the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show, as well as the Outsiders
Ricky
Edge.
and Clive.
Yes, sir. And we have the Outsiders Edge, and also Keeping It Strong Style, covering New Japan. And we thank you guys for all your continued support and downloads. This was a phenomenal week, and we are currently in the middle of our best month ever. So for Troy, this is Rich. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.
Thank you for listening to One Nation Radio. We'll see you next time.